Welcome to a short reflection on Canto 4 of Dante's Inferno, by Sebastian Maffut. Dante awakens to find himself in the first of the 9 circles of hell, Limbo. In this circle lie those who died without baptism, and it includes not only those born before Christ, but also persons like Saladin, the great Muslim leader who routed the Crusaders and restored Islam to the Holy Lands in 1187, which prompted a response from the Christian West in the form of the Third Crusade. Dante calls hell the dolorous abyss and a desolate chasm, depthless and nebulous and dim, without an apparent bottom, and learns from Virgil that he's in the first circle of it, from which emanate not cries or wails, but sighs of unfulfilled desire. Looking at the map, we find room ahead for greater torments. The first portion, or upper hell, is the hell of the she-wolf, of those whose inordinate, concupiscible, and irascible appetites could not be conformed to the rational appetite, the appetite that distinguishes the human person from the beast. These take us to the 6th circle, which is the city of Dis. In the 7th circle we find the sins of the lion, and these will be divided into 3 rounds: the violent against neighbor, self, God, nature, and art. In the 8th and 9th circles we find the sins of the leopard, malice and fraud. Because of contrapasso, each new sin is attended by an increasing complexity of punishments that mirror its nature. The souls in Limbo are fairly well off in comparison, and Dante intimates later that all souls in Limbo will be raised to the Garden of Eden at the Last Judgment, able to spend eternity, while not in heaven, at least in the state of natural happiness. Virgil explains to Dante that at one point every separated soul found itself in Limbo, but Christ, whose name is never directly mentioned in hell — note how Dante has Virgil refer to him here as simply the Mighty One — came down after his crucifixion and harvested the good souls: Adam, Abel, Noah, Moses, Abraham, King David, Isaac, Jacob, Rachel, and others, who were the first souls ever to win salvation. We'll see many of them again in the Paradiso, and actually talk to Adam. Among those left behind include some who carry with them a natural light of human reason: the philosophers, such as Aristotle, the master of all who know, and the poets, who make up for Dante a kind of dedication page of those by whom he was influenced. Lucan's Pharsalia, for instance, provided the context for Virgil's first trip through hell, the very thing that makes him an appropriate guide for Dante, and a point on which Dante will question Virgil at the city gates of Dis, the capital city of hell. Ovid's Metamorphoses, furthermore, provides the context for a great deal of what you'll see below, and Dante explicitly refers back to Ovid when among the thieves in the 8th circle. It's also here that we get the first sign of Dante's own sense of pride, something he talks about as a personal failing while in the first cornice of Purgatory. Dante has these poets welcome him as a 6th in their company, Virgil being the first among them, the prince of poets, and the one with whom he is traveling. With a short catalogue of other great persons in Limbo, Dante and Virgil pass from the light into the kingdom of eternal night. In the cantos that follow, human reason is either subordinated to appetite or perverted to justify an increasing selfishness in the use of others as means to one's own end. From this bastion of community we begin descending into a world where community is disintegrating by marked degrees, where whatever harmony that might have existed among people grows into cacophony, followed by silence and extreme isolation. Our response to this vision is that we should support the growth of community wherever we can, and, like St. Paul, who spoke of himself in his 2nd letter to the Corinthians, build up the community rather than tear it down. We should consider ourselves our brother's keepers, for their edification, and support one another in the good we might do, while correcting one another privately and without scandal when they turn from the true way. Were we all to make a pastoral response to one another through the grace that flows through us, then the community in which we live and work would have a better chance of resembling the city of God. For now, though, we enter into that city's opposite.